The Carters' house was the kind of place you'd see in a magazine. Glass walls, sharp angles, perched on a hill like it was looking down on the rest of the world. It was beautiful, sure, but cold, empty, the kind of place where you'd feel like a ghost even when you were alive. I took the job because I had no choice. Tuition was due and my bank account was a joke. When they offered triple my usual rate, I didn't ask questions. I should have.
Ethan's already fed and bathed.
Mrs. Carter said, her diamond earrings catching the light as she tossed her purse over her shoulder. Her smile didn't quite reach her eyes.
We'll be back by midnight.
And then they were gone, leaving me alone in that glass castle with their 8-year-old son. Ethan was quiet for a kid his age. He didn't argue when I told him it was bedtime, just climbed into bed, pulled the covers up to his chin, and stared at me with those big, unblinking eyes.
He always comes when they leave,
he whispered as I reached for the light.
He likes girls like you.
I froze.
Who?
No matter how much I prodded, Ethan didn't answer. Instead, he simply laid there, closing his eyes. Somewhat anxious, I returned to the living room and tried to focus on my textbook, but every creak of the house made me jump. At exactly 9 p.m., the doorbell rang. My heart slammed against my ribs. On the security monitor, a man stood at the door. Tailored suit, perfect hair, smiling directly into the camera like he knew I was watching. "Hi, Lisa," he said when I pressed the intercom. His voice was smooth, too smooth. "I'm Daniel, Ethan's uncle. I've already told Rachel. We'd just grab some files from the study and leave." My stomach churned.
I wasn't told anyone would be coming.
"Call her if you want," he said, still smiling. "She'll tell you it's fine." I did. Mrs. Carter answered on the second ring.
Oh, Daniel. He's family. It's fine.
She said, laughing, but her voice was tight. I opened the door against my screaming instincts. Daniel was taller than I expected. "Thank you," he said as he brushed past me, arm grazing mine. "This won't take long." But it did. Minutes stretched into an eternity. When I finally went to check on him, he was sitting in the study, not really doing anything, just staring.
Found everything you need?
I asked, my voice shaking. Daniel slowly stood up, stalking closer. "That's a lovely scent you're wearing," he sniffed, grinning. "Reminds me of someone." My blood ran cold. "You must be a student," he said, taking a step closer. "College is expensive, isn't it?" I nodded, backing away. He reached into his jacket and pulled out a thick stack of cash, tossing it onto the desk. $15,000, he said, licking his lips. "All for a night with me." I couldn't breathe.
I think you should leave.
"Don't be difficult," he said, stepping closer. "We both know you need the money."
Get out, or I'll call the police.
I said, reaching for my phone. His hand shot out, grabbing my wrist with crushing force. "No, you won't," he hissed. I tried yanking my arm back and screamed, but his grip tightened. "Scream all you want, Lisa. No one's coming. They never do. You're mine." I didn't think. I couldn't. I drove my knee up hard, aiming for anything, and bolted. The front door wouldn't budge. The security panel blinked red. Wrong code. Behind me, Daniel laughed, low and terrible. I ran to the kitchen, yanking open drawers until I found a knife. His footsteps were slow, deliberate, like he was enjoying the chase. "7 girls before you," he boasted. "None of them were missed for days." I pointed the knife at him, my hand shaking.
Stay back.
He smiled, stalking forward. The last one had dark hair too. I threw the knife, not to kill, just to distract, and bolted up the stairs. Ethan's room was empty.
Ethan?
I cried, terrified. A small hand grabbed mine from the closet. Ethan's eyes were wide, his voice barely audible.
He always does that,
he whispered.
He comes when they leave.
Heavy footsteps echoed on the stairs. Daniel's voice followed, sing-song and mocking. "I can smell your fear, little girl." I grabbed the landline by Ethan's bed, my fingers fumbling as I dialed 911. The dispatcher spoke from the other side, but before I could reply, Daniel busted into the room, blood dripping from his shoulder where the knife had grazed him. In his hand was a zip tie. "You stupid, stupid girl!" he growled, lunging for me. Struggle ensured as he jumped on me. We both rolled out of the room, moving to the stairs. I kept punching and kicking him, but he was too strong. He dragged me down the rest of the stairs and pounced me on the hard floor. Just when I thought it's over for me, I heard cop cars. Daniel stopped and I noticed the color from his face fade away. "Who the hell called the cops?" he screamed in pain mixed with anger.
I did. I hate you, and I hate Mommy, Daddy too.
I saw Ethan standing on the stairs. He was crying, but when the police dragged Daniel away, he kept yelling how he'd get bail in no time. 6 missing babysitters over 3 years. The Carters were arrested as accomplices. Little Ethan was allotted to foster care while Daniel was given life imprisonment. But the real justice was served when he was found unconscious in a cell a week into his sentence, brain hemorrhaging from an undetected injury. He survived, but doctors say he'll never walk again. I visit Ethan time to time. He still doesn't understand that he saved my life. One day when he gets older, I bet he'll be proud of himself.
Emma's quite the storyteller.
Mrs. Hayes laughed, checking her diamond earrings in the hallway mirror.
Don't believe a word she says. Just going through a phase.
Mr. Hayes nodded, jingling the car keys. She's a good kid, though, with an overactive imagination. Attention-seeking, the therapist calls it. I forced a smile and adjusted my backpack strap. Their house was stunning. Modern art on pristine walls, furnitures that looked never used. That strange emptiness that comes with too much money.
We'll be back by midnight.
Mrs. Hayes promised, not quite meeting my eyes.
Numbers are on the fridge.
That's when I noticed her, 9-year-old Emma, at the top of the stairs in a blue nightgown, perfect blonde hair and eyes too devious for a child.
Hi, Emma. I'm Fiona.
I greeted cheerfully. She didn't smile back, just stared, tilted her head slightly, and went back to playing. Shy kid, I thought. But the moment the front door closed, the kid's posture flipped 360.
You shouldn't have come, Fiona.
She deadpanned. I laughed awkwardly.
Well, I'm here now. You want to show me around?
What's the point?
She shrugged.
You'll be dead soon anyway.
I gaped as she skimmed down the stairs, humming like she'd just commented on the weather. During dinner, Emma watched me from across the table, barely touching her food.
So, what's your favorite subject in school?
I asked, trying to break the silence.
Psychology.
She answered immediately.
I like to study how minds break.
I swallowed hard.
That's mature for your age.
That's what the others said too, before they left.
She replied, pushing her peas around.
Emma,
I said firmly.
your parents mentioned you like to make up stories.
So do they. Like how they made up being my real parents.
Where are your folks then?
Her eyes darkened.
Buried in the garden. I watched Daddy dig the hole.
My fork froze halfway to my mouth. Just stories, I reminded myself.
Girls come to live in our basement.
She continued calmly.
I feed them scraps when Mom and Dad are sleeping.
I forced a laugh.
Let's finish dinner and maybe watch a Disney movie?
You don't believe me. No one ever does. Until it's too late.
I didn't believe her until I saw the scars. Emma was brushing her teeth when her dress slipped, revealing a network of thin, jagged scratches snaking up her arms.
What happened here?
I asked, genuinely concerned. She glanced down casually.
I did it.
You hurt yourself? Why?
To practice.
She whispered.
When I do it to you.
My skin crawled.
Enough, Emma. That's not funny.
I quickly washed her up and led her to her bedroom, choosing to remain silent. Just one night, I told myself. I could endure the little weirdo a little longer. Little did I know it would stretch far beyond that. As I tucked Emma in, my hand brushed against something hidden under her pillow. A journal. I immediately snatched it away and flipped through the pages. My blood ran cold. The pages were filled with disturbing drawings, stick figures holding knives, splashes of red crayon smeared across every surface. But that page stopped me in my tracks. A crude caricature of me, my head severed, red crayon dripping from the neck. I didn't waste a second. My mind raced with questions. Could the kid be in danger? Were the Hays hiding something sinister? The basement door screamed for me. It was locked. I hesitated for a second, then reached for a bobby pin. With trembling hands, I managed to pick the lock. The basement was finished but oddly sparse. As my eyes adjusted to the darkness, I noticed a patch of carpet that seemed newer than the rest. Under a workbench, I found a small box containing IDs and credit cards belonging to different women, and a missing persons flyer with a photo of a young woman, a babysitter, who disappeared 3 months ago. My heart raced as I pulled out my phone. No signal. Suddenly, I felt a presence behind me. Emma stood in the doorway, holding a butcher's knife in her hand.
I told you.
She snickered.
No one ever listens.
I pushed past her, running upstairs. I needed to get out, call someone. The front door wouldn't budge.
Stop running.
Emma said, following me slowly.
You'll be in a happy place. My parents will make sure of that.
I ran to the kitchen, grabbing the landline. Dead.
They disconnected when they leave.
Emma explained, swinging the butcher knife. I backed away.
Emma, stop it! You're sick!
And you're the cure. We do this every few months. Trap somebody disposable. See what happens.
We?
My voice cracked. Right then, I heard a car pull over in the driveway. Mr. and Mrs. Hays are back.
Me, Daddy, and Mommy.
Emma whispered.
I started with Mom and Dad. Daddy didn't stop me. Said we had to protect the family name, the estate.
Heavy footsteps moved closer to the porch.
They like to watch the videos after.
Emma continued, eyes darting to a tiny camera in the smoke detector.
To see how long the babysitter lasts.
I heard the main door open.
Emma, you need help. Your parents are wrong.
I demanded.
You should hide. That's what the last one did. She lasted almost an hour.
I ran for the bathroom, locking the flimsy door. I could hear Emma outside, giggling.
She's in there, Daddy. Go get her.
The door handle rattled. I climbed into the small window, forcing my body through. I tumbled onto the lawn and ran toward the road, blood soaking my sleeve. The last thing I saw before jumping the cab was the Hayes' porch light flicking on, and 2 silhouettes stepping out on the porch. I made an anonymous 911 call to report the Hayes after that night. I'm still hoping to see their arrest in the news, but deep down I have this feeling. People with money can get away with anything. We were first-time parents in a new environment with no sleep and no family around to help us out. Our baby girl, Lily, cried through the night. Every night. I didn't have a hot meal in 2 weeks. The house reeked of old formula and desperation, and then, just like an angel dispatched directly from our misery, someone left a flyer on our doorstep. Experienced babysitter, CPR certified, excellent references. Call Eliza. It honestly felt like our universe had decided to intervene and finally help us. Eliza was perfect, refined, collected. Her voice was silky, her clothes smooth, her smile soft but completely vacant. The moment she touched Lily, the crying stopped. I cried in the shower out of relief. Even after the first time she sat with Lily, I slept for 4 hours straight. It felt like an awakening, but then things started to change quickly. I would find Lily's toys in strangely placed locations. Sometimes they were arranged in little circles or weird patterns like seance. They were always facing the window, and Eliza would somehow show up early, often before I even asked for a helping hand.
I just had a feeling you needed me.
She said every time she walked in, as if she was the caretaker and I was the child. The baby monitor would crackle to life, even when it was off, and on occasion it would play lullabies I didn't know, old, peculiar songs that made Lily whimper instead of sleep. I confronted Eliza on one occasion.
What was that song you were singing a little bit ago?
I asked her.
Oh, something special for little Lily.
She said, smiling creepily. That smile stayed with me. One morning, I pretended to be sick and stayed home. From behind the cracked nursery door, I heard her, whispering to Lily in a tongue that I didn't understand. Then, in English.
They never wanted you, but I do.
It felt like ice was sliding down my spine. Nate told me I was paranoid, a little sleep-deprived. She's been amazing with Lily, he said. That night, I reverse-searched for Eliza's number. Nothing. No full name, no background, no social media pages. A burner phone. I called the references from the flyer, all disconnected. Every last one. I should have fired her, but I needed proof, so I bought a nanny cam. The recording still gives me nightmares. 3:04 in the morning. Eliza is in Lily's room, holding her in her arms in front of the mirror and speaking into it.
She is nearly ready. We just need to get rid of the mother.
I forgot how to swallow. I pretended to sleep that night. When Eliza arrived, I got up quietly to watch her tiptoe into the nursery and close the door behind her. Barefoot and terrified, I crept after her with my heart pounding. I peeked through the old heating grate in the wall. Eliza was kneeling next to the crib. I watched as she opened something below the crib, a compartment I never knew existed. Inside were photographs of me while sleeping, showering, holding Lily at the hospital. She was watching us long before the flyer. I felt dizzy and backed away. The following morning, I told Nate what I saw. We waited for Eliza. She entered smiling, as if nothing was wrong. I questioned her.
Who are you? What do you want with my daughter?
Her smile stayed unchanged.
You don't remember me, do you? I was in the maternity ward. I was supposed to go with Lily, but they gave her to you. I'm here to take back what's mine.
Everything stopped. The room shrunk in size. Then she lunged for Lily, but Nate jumped on her. Together, we tied her to our living room chair and dialed 911. If it was some horror movie, Eliza would have unlocked some full psycho mode. But you won't believe how different it was in real life. It's like she realized and gave up too soon. Like something just snapped in her and she stopped putting up with the mask she was wearing so long. It was as if she was tired herself. Even when the cops came, Eliza cooperated like a harmless civilian. But she kept humming that lullaby as they put cuffs on her. Her fingerprints told the rest of the story. Eliza Montgomery, a former NICU nurse, lost custody of her infant daughter years ago after her mental health broke down. Her daughter died in a fire in a foster home. Since then, she had been targeting new mothers in our area, offering babysitting, leaving flyers behind. 3 babies had gone missing before Lily vanished. 3 families were destroyed. We were almost number 4. I don't want to know what Eliza did with those missing babies, or are they even alive? She had already given enough nightmare fuel for my entire life. Occasionally, I ponder how nearly we came to losing it all. I still look underneath the crib. I still unplug the monitor before bed every night. And sometimes, even now, when Lily is in her room alone, I think I can still hear that lullaby. But when I open the door, no one's there. Just Lily, smiling at the mirror.